So I think YouTube will start very soon. It started. Okay, great. So if you have both Discord and YouTube, I recommend you to shut down YouTube because not shut down YouTube, but shut down the sound on YouTube, because you will have a delay between the two, so it won't be very efficient. So yes, I'm going to share my screen on StreamYard. So I don't know if I can do it on both sessions. Okay, let's start screen sharing. Okay. Okay, so I share my screen on StreamYard. Can you see it on YouTube, everyone? Are you all on YouTube? And so it sounds good. So yeah, I think everything is ready. So now we can start. So first, thank you for being there and to come to this new Ask Me Anything session of Kitsu and CGWire. So it's very important that you understand that it's really the time to ask questions. I will do an update, but you can interrupt me at any time, and the main point is that to discuss together. So really feel free to interrupt me, and of course we will do a chat session at the end. So let's start. So it's a May update, like the last one was 2 months ago. We did that in March, and we already we covered all the aspects of the of Kitsu, from finance to features, and by going through community events. So let's start with the bug fixes. The main bug fixes we did during the past 2 months were the broken annotations when we were doing copy pasting. The bug was that when you copied several annotations at the same time, when you pasted it, it broke the word annotation thing. The word annotation of the frame, so it was really annoying. We didn't notice it at start because when you selected only one annotation, it worked. So that's why we didn't understand when you provided us with feedback about this. But we understood the problem and we fixed that. There was another issue that the sequence page was broken after the edit section addition. When you use edit in your production, you was not able to access anymore to the sequence page. I think it was only in TV series, but there were some situations where you wasn't able anymore to access to the sequence page, and it's now fixed. About the broken casting stat. Oh yeah, when you imported your breakdown into Kitsu, the casting statistics were not calculated, so you didn't have the right feedback in your shot page, because now in the shot page you can see how many assets are ready for a given task, and it's now and it was broken when you upload all your breakdowns through the import system. And now it's fixed. There were not many, but there were several navigation links that were broken in Kitsu. Someone is writing something. I will check. What is it? Oh, it's just someone who joined the Discord. Yeah, and so I was talking about the navigation link. So the navigation links were broken in some part of Kitsu, and we tried to fix as much as possible them. So now the navigation should be a little bit smoother. And the other important point is that the continuous integration is back. You notice it that on GitHub, all our build page was showing that Kitsu and Zoo were broken. It was definitely an issue because we were not able to see if there was no new tests which were broken. And when a test is broken, most of the time it means that a new bug has been introduced. So we didn't did our homework by letting the CI getting broke. So we fixed that, and now you can check the test status on GitHub as usual. So now when we will break things, we will see it immediately. That's about the bugs. That's not the most exciting part. Maybe you already have questions about this. It's okay. Just want to check. Can you just confirm me that you can still follow my slides on StreamYard and check and being on the Discord at the same time? Or do I lost everyone?
Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay. Good. So now
everything is working.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now let's go to the new feature session. Here with I listed the main changes we did. So we had some really interesting new stuff this past 2 months. The first one is that we introduced automatic status changing right into Kitsu. It was done by Felix from Normal Studio. So it was a community contribution. So what does it mean? It's just that now when you are in the productions, you can go directly to the settings and here set a few automations for your productions. For instance, you can say when my concept is ready, I want that my modeling task change to the ready status. You can do the same with the ready for field in the asset page, because we thought that it would be useful too, because it's a field that you don't want to really manage by yourself, and if it can be changed automatically, it will really help to use it and to have better information in the shot page thanks to that field. I will come back to it a little bit after. So mainly what does it change is when I go in the asset page, I can select an asset and just say, okay, my asset is done, the concept is done, and automatically my modeling step has been passed to ready. So I set up an automation, and when I change the concept to done, the modeling was changed to ready. There is a small message added to the status change to just really mark the fact that it was done automatically. It's not it was not done by a human. The other thing, the other thing is that it changes it seems to have bugged, but it changed the ready for status. So as a reminder, I can say, this asset is ready for Lightning, and it will change the statistic in the shot page. What I mean by the statistic, if you remember, this is this little thing that say how many assets are ready for this step of the shot. So you know when you can start your animations or your lightning, your render step, etc., etc. So that's it for the first feature. There is another kind of not such a big change because it doesn't change the way you use Kitsu, but it was a big visual change. So now you can we redesigned the entity pages. So when you click on a shot, it's the layout is proper. Before it was a little bit clumsy, and now you can, of course, you can still select your task, and when you click on it again, it closes down the panel. Our willing is to make everything there editable. Currently, there is only a few things that are editable, but we want really to allow you to manage your entity right from the entity page. Below, we created a section panel. So first, you have your casting as usual. The schedule can be displayed separately. Before, they were like there was the schedule, and right below there was the casting. It was not really handy. So now everything is clearly separated. And we added a list of preview files, a list of activities, the last news for this entity here for this shot, and we added a time log so you know everyone you can know when someone spends some time on this entity. And another little thing we added is that when you click now on the thumbnail, it displays it in your screen, and you can click on it to remove it. So it doesn't open a page, a new tab anymore. If you really need to see it in a new tab, it's not very, because it's a really big picture, but there is a little button, so you can still open it in a new tab. So that is, and yes, and when you click on an asset, as usual, it goes on the asset pages, on the asset page, which has been redesigned too, and so you can still, browse your entities through the casting. And if you click on this button, it still bring you back to the main asset page. And what we changed that icon too, which was not really explicit, because it looked like a back button, when in fact it really brings you back to the asset page. We designed a little bit to the task page. Now we decided to switch columns, so it looks more like when you are in the playlist. And of course, we made much wider. We made the preview column much wider, because what we noticed is that people, of course, are interested by comments, but the first thing they want to see about a task is a preview, and you can still choose which version you want to see. And yes, so that's it for the redesign. And for the yes, we still have to change that icon too. It's very little things, but we have to make it more consistent with the rest. So that's it for the entity redesign. I have just one last thing I would like to share, is that when you are in a shot, the casting, what we want to do in a short term is to add a button to switch that list to a list, to a classical list, not to a thumbnail list. So you can see the status of every character casted in the shot. Many studios asked us to have this, so we will probably add it as soon as we can. So now we talked about the status changing, we talked about the entity pages redesign, and now we can switch to the departments, new things. So you remember that we were already able to link someone to a department. So you can create departments. And what are departments? They are basically, of course, a few. This is a department list, but there's the opportunity to organize your task types, your building steps into departments. So here it looks a little bit rough, but what does it mean? It means that when you are in a production, here you have all your you have a reminder of what to which department this step is linked to. And maybe I will go to the asset, it's a little bit more clear. So here we have the concept department. Here we have the modeling department. And so we can see that they are separated, and we can have two now columns dedicated to a department. So I don't know. So I create a column that is linked only to I forgot it. And now this column, I can link it to a department. So as usual, I can put some value. And what does it mean is that now I can have lighter views depending on the departments. So if I just want to see the concept, I see only the concept columns. If I just want to see the modeling, I see only the modeling columns. And for a studio manager, he can still view everything. But if you connect with a supervisor that is linked to only a single department, the first thing he sees are his departments. So here I connect with a studio manager, I can see everything. And here I connect with a supervisor. Here it's a supervisor that belongs to the modeling department. And when I connect, I see only the columns that interest me. And because we want that everyone still to be aware of what is happening, of course, the supervisor can see the other departments. But the first thing he sees when he connects, he sees only his department. So it's much more easier for him or her to find the information that interest him the most. The other thing is that I talked about supervisors, but we introduced a new role into Kitsu, a new level of permissions. So before we had artists, supervisors, client, vendors, and studio managers. Basically, vendors can see only the task they are assigned to. Artists can see everything, but only comment on the tasks they are assigned to. The previous supervisors was able to see everything and comment everything in the productions he belongs to. The clients can only see only a very rough view of the productions and has only access to his playlist. And the studio manager has the full rights on what you can do on the informations that are stored inside Kitsu. It's a little bit like the administrator of Kitsu. So now we introduced a change. The previous supervisor role was renamed production manager, which means that now there is a production manager role that can access and write on everything about a production to which he belongs, he or she belongs. And there is the supervisor, and now there is a new role. It is the supervisor role. This is what I'm showing to you right now. So the first thing is that when you connect as a supervisor, you see only your department. And the second thing is that, like I said, you can see the rest of the productions if you want. But if you want to comment a task that doesn't belong to your department, you cannot do it. You don't have the right access to this task. And but if you want to comment on a task that belongs to your department, you can access it. You can say, okay, I want to change that, and I'm allowed to do it. So what is the goal of that is that now you can organize. If you have a bigger a studio with many people and that is organized in departments, you will be able to create some kind of views that are dedicated to each department. So you will be able to quickly create summarized views of Kitsu for each department. And you will be able to create some boundaries for people supervising some departments and that you don't want, because sometimes you have supervisors, for example, animation supervisors. Of course, you want them to manage all the tasks related to animations, but you don't want them to be able to change something in the modeling or stuff like that. So with this new role, you will be able to put boundaries and to put them in another in their department, while preventing them to modify things from the other departments. Yes, that's it for the departments. So that's a big change. I think it's something that was asked for a very long time into Kitsu. So I hope it will solve your problems. Let us know your feedback about it, and we will be glad to tweak what we did if it can be improved again. So I talked about the thumbnail opener. I just show you again because it's now available in every view. So here I am in the asset view. I can click on an element, and so I have a quick view of a quick zoom of the thumbnail. By the way, thank you to the Blender Foundations for allowing us to use their materials to make our demo. Checklist as metadata. Oh yes, that was another addition from Normal Studio. So now you can say, okay, I want to have more things into my asset view. So I can say, okay, I want to have separate a little checklist to check if some stuff is done, and I can say, okay. So now, sorry, I think I didn't choose the right. It was not. It's the value. Sorry. And so now, yes, you can have this checklist. So basically, you say, okay, the head, the body are done. Unfortunately, it appears for every asset types. Maybe we'll change that later, but you can have some more details if you want through this checklist inside your main asset list. We are almost done. And last but not least, Evan from our team coded the Discord integration. So mainly, it means that any notification you receive into Kitsu can be pushed to your Discord account. We have the documentation available online, and you can you can check it to see how to set up this integration. So that's it for the new feature. Do you have any questions about this? It sounds good. So let's talk about what's next. What we will work on later. I will show the world roadmap right after. So what we will work for in the short term. So we'll keep on doing bug fixing. Right now, Kitsu is quite big applications. So we will always have some maintenance to do on it, and we will keep on making sure that it works as best as possible. We will improve the publisher documentations. Currently, we have a publisher tools for Harmony and Blender. I talked about it in the last session. So it works, but the documentation is only available on GitHub, and it is only dedicated to the installation. So yes, so we would like so we would like to add it to the documentations, to the main documentations of Kitsu. We will add the episode casting. Currently, you cannot manage like a high level casting of your TV series. So the Normal Studio is contributing, and we work with them because it's a tough addition to add the capability to put an asset in several episodes. We will add with the a little bit same spirit for some more modularity. We will it's still a contribution from Normal Studio, but we will add a link between task type and asset types, which means that currently you can already do that but it's not very intuitive because you have to first create your assets, it creates all the tasks available in your productions for this asset, and then you have to remove by hand all the tasks that are not that are tied that you don't want to see for this asset. So it works, but it's not very convenient. And what the normal team is adding is it's a capability to say, okay, I want to link that task type to that asset type. And so when you create your asset, you have only the expected task type, the expected task for this asset. So about the publisher, I talked about the documentations, but we will work on a new integration. So probably that the next one will be Photoshop. It's asked by many people. So it's something we want to add. We are thinking about the new integration too, because it's like one of the most upvoted feature on our Canny page. About the R&D, last time I talked about integrating Watchtower into Kitsu. Also Watchtower, if you remember, it's a tool by the Blender Foundation that allows to track your productions more visually. We think about it. The technology they used is not very convenient, so we will probably. What we are trying to do is to see if we can build something similar into Kitsu and make it more connected with Kitsu. There is this notion. In fact, when you go into the Watchtower, there is a demo somewhere. I have to find it back. Where is the demo? Yeah, live demo. The concept of the Watchtower is that you have the final episode on the right, and when you click on the final episode or the final movie, and when you click on some part of the timelines, it shows you some information about the status. And what is interesting too is that it draws you the related shot into a thumbnail view, like a contact sheet on the left side. And you have some more stuff because you can show a given, the status of a given task type. You can show you can change the way it's displayed. You can show the status. I don't remember where, but you can show the status of the shot that is displayed here. It's displayed as a dot, but you can show it is just a color layer on the thumbnails, and it's and from the feedback we get, it's much more convenient for directors to browse the movie this way. So we are thinking about integrating it into Kitsu, but we have to do it with our UI toolkit. And the other thing we would like to is to that in the playlist module of Kitsu you can build a whole movie from all your shots, and we would like to be able to push this whole movie there. So basically you build your movie, you import an EDL or something similar into the playlist module of Kitsu. It generates the whole movie, and then from there you build the movie, and you can reuse it in the Watchtower plugin of Kitsu. So that's something we are doing some research. We are doing some research on it, and we are doing research on the asset global search. What does I mean by that? No, there, yeah, there. It means that when you are browsing Kitsu, anywhere in Kitsu, you will be able to have a search field there that will allow you to look for an asset and to jump directly into its entity page. At the beginning, there will be only assets, but after that, we will add persons and shots. So it may be convenient. And what could be fun too is to allow to search into the closed production too. So maybe it could give some it could be interesting for the reuse of assets in your studio. So that's it for what's next. So here is the translation in the world map. So we finished the quotas, we finished the entity page redesigns, we finished the Harmony publisher, we finished the department views, we finished the automatic workflow. We are still working on the asset refactoring. This is what I talked to you about with the episode links and with the task type by asset types. And yeah, still have to start the work on the Photoshop publisher. At the end of this quarter, which arrives quite fast because we are already at the middle of it, we'll start working on risk predictions. What does it mean? What do we mean by that? This will be a set of tables and statistics that will allow you to quickly identify if there is a problem, like if there is an artist with 0 task assigned, 0 running task assigned, if you have too many late tasks and stuff like that, we will identify a set of indicators, so you don't have to they will avoid you to dig into the list every day. You will know right from the beginning if there is anything wrong, and if you see that there is something wrong, you will of course you will still have to dig into the Kitsu data, but at least you won't have to verify by hand every day if there is a problem or not. We will add the custom entities. It's a long-awaited feature, not by Kitsu users, because most convinced Kitsu users know how handy Kitsu is and how it improves your productivity. But there are many people who are still struggling with Shotgun, who are afraid to move to Kitsu. And one of the reasons they are afraid of that is that they will lose this fun, this not free fun, this practical feature of being able to track any kind of entities into their software. At CGWire, we have always focused on the most important part of a movie, which are assets and movies and shots. So we made sure that everything worked well for this part. But now we are ready to add some custom entities scheme to allow people to switch from Shotgun to Kitsu and bring a new bring peace of mind to their artistic teams. And we will start to work with a more VFX-oriented publisher by adding Nuke and Maya to the supported DCCs. Maybe you have some questions. Does anyone has any question or? Okay, so I'm going to go next. So now let's talk about the CGWire company financial state. Past months was a little bit tricky for us because some fundings were delayed. We are still waiting a grant from the French government. It's something that is already declared, but we had the French way of declaring the contability, because I think it's the same everywhere, but in France we have to declare the contability every year. But this year they changed some rules, so our accounting vendor didn't was a little bit late to publish our accounting to send our accounting to the government. So of course I delayed the grant. For the loan, banks are are a little bit special. So everything is complicated, even when you feel like it's simple. So we are still in the process to claim our loan. And so yes, that said, we will still be happy to have any introductions to studios or producers to be able to grow our customers, our number of customers. About finance, to be more precise, so remember we had a very bad end of the year, end of 2021 years. It went better when we talked last time, and we did really well in March, so we were quite happy. But we struggled a little bit in April. So if you see the average, it's nice, it's still nice. But like I told you last time, we hired cloud engineers for our hosting infrastructures. So our costs are closer to this level. So currently we are still facing a gap between what we spend and what we earn. Overall, we have 59 clients today. We are on a good way to close the big lead. I can't talk about it much more, but because it's not totally done. But when we will be able to communicate about it, we will do it. Which is a good news, by the way. Which is a good news for our finance. We did a demo to Titmouse, so I don't know if you know them, but they did the introductory animations at Team Festival last year. It was a really good one, but they are more famous for TV series like Rick and Morty, and so they were quite impressed by what we did. So we just crossed fingers to convince them to use Kitsu. We got some new clients, so Studio Softs, Lighthouse VFX, Woodblocks, and Lardux. I don't remember where they come from. I'm very sorry, I didn't do my homework properly. But so Studio Softs is German. Lighthouse is from Turkey. Woodblock is from I think it's I don't know from where they are, but I think they are in Australia or something similar. Maybe. No, they're German too. Sorry. No, it's a town. Yes, they're German too. Sorry. And we got Lardux film too. They are French, I think. Yeah. So it was quite. We are quite happy to be able to onboard 4 new studios. And we are still doing a lot of demo every week, so we expect to have new studios next month. About the notable productions, we got the RRR movie. It was really a good surprise for us. You probably met Pete Draper on the Discord channel. So what is the RRR movie? It's simply the second biggest blockbuster of all time in India. So for this year, it's the biggest blockbuster. It's the 10th, one of the 10th biggest movie of the year in the whole world. And why it was a really good surprise is that we always made Kitsu for animation productions. But we noticed that since a few months, we had a few months now, maybe more. We already had some requests from VFX teams, and but we didn't really know how far people went with Kitsu. And we discovered that Makuta VFX tracked all the VFX of RRR movie. It's 45 minutes of really big effects. And so we were really proud to see that they were able to ship their movie on time thanks to Kitsu. At Annecy, because the Annecy Festival is the next month, so we will have 3 movies in the official selections that use Kitsu to be able to collaborate properly. So we will have Le Petit Nicolas. It's a French license which is pretty well known there. We will have Unicorn Wars. It's really it looks like to be a really huge film. It's very special, and the animations looks very fun. Maybe we can see some stuff about it. Yeah. Let's. So I remove the sounds because it will create some problems, but okay, it's a little bit long, 2 minutes. I want to show you everything, but it starts like a normal cartoon, and it gets quickly crazy. It looks very fun and beautiful. And basically, these are little bears fighting with unicorns. Okay, maybe someone is speaking. No, it's okay. It's not. You didn't talk to me. So yes, what I was showing you. So basically, yes, it's a very interesting movie, and we are proud to have participated to it. So that's it. And Blind Willow, Sleeping Woman, it's more another movie. It's by Miu Production. No, it's a novel. Yeah. This is kind of animation. Okay, I will show you a few pictures too.
It's as though I don't.
Maybe I can put the sound. It's not unusual.
Maybe she was taken by a UFO.
What's the most faithful thing that's ever happened to you? To me?
So as you can see, it's more another project, but it's a very good animation, and it's really a film that is awaited in France and in Japan too. And the other thing I wanted to show is Le Petit Nicolas. So video, because there are many versions. I don't know if we can find the right one. There is a movie too. Okay, I can't find I just can't find this this picture. These ones are not the right one. And yeah, it was selected to the Cannes Festival too. So we are very proud of having participating to this movie, like the others. So yeah, we have 3 movies, 3 quite exciting movies that are selected to the Annecy Festival. We are very proud of them, and yeah, we wanted to share it with you, to share that with you. About the events, we will do a new meetup on June 2nd. we are super happy because we have 3 new sponsors that will help us for this. So alongside our traditional, our historical sponsors, which are Range Computing, Rounder Farm, and Ubicast, companies that broadcast, that helps people to broadcast their events online. And we will have the Hochschule Luzern School, which is an animation school in Switzerland. We will have Carnot Computing, which is a Render Farm too. That is carbon neutral. And we have the ZAC Studio. The first time we have a studio that will help us. So we are very glad about that. They are in an hiring process, and they really like what we do. So it's the opportunity. It will be the opportunity for them to talk about what they are preparing. And the big event is the MIFA. I already talked about the movies, but we will be there. We will have a booth. Please come see us. We will be really glad to meet you. The MIFA is the time to. It's a lot of work for many people, but it's also the party time where everyone from the industry meet, and we will be there. We'll have a booth every day. We will stay the weekend after if you want to hang out. Just please come, let's meet us, and we will just have fun, and we will organize too a little beer probably at the bar, and it's always a great time to meet and discuss and to share any thoughts about animations. And of course, we will be able to talk about Kitsu and share ideas and see how we can improve the software. Okay, we can improve things for the community. And just really, if you are there, please come meet us. About ANSI, we will show our new goodies. These are some, so we will have our stickers. On the right, you see some prototypes, some pre-designs before getting the goodie. So we will have caps, we will have some hoodies and t-shirts will be for our team, but maybe we have 10 of them, so we will maybe be able to give 1 or 2. But we will give caps and stickers. So if you want to share the good vibe about Kitsu, please come. So that's it for the update. I think we can start the Ask Me Anything session. It's already started from my point of view, but it seems that you didn't have much questions until now. So I would be glad to answer to your questions. Let's start. So anyone, do you have questions? It doesn't seem like. Do you hear me at last?
Yeah, I think there was someone last question on YouTube channel. I think.
Okay, on YouTube, I'm going to connect on YouTube. I think I can open it right through here. Okay, is it possible to allow us to have more control over those kind of permissions? Currently, no. Why the permission thing is it's a very tricky thing because on one way, when you think about permissions, you want to be able to do everything. So that's the first intuition that comes. Of course, from a technical point of view, it's an headache. It's really painful to be able to manage everything because it's easy to implement permissions. Well, not that easy, but it's something that's not a big deal. But if you do that, you create a performance overhead that can be really annoying because you have to check so many things every time you do if you do anything. So it's really it can be really a problem, and it comes with many edge cases, and it can quickly be a total mess. But aside of that, if you think purely in terms of features and functionality, you have when you go into the studios, when it's too complicated to set up your permissions, when you have too many, you can do too many things. In the end, what people do is that they put everyone in the admin mode because they are lost in the permission system. They don't know what to do, and in the end, there is no permission. So that's why we want to keep it as clean as possible. We want to create roles that make sense. Maybe a few more roles could be added over time, but we just want to make sure that there is a logic between everyone accessing to the software. And the other important point to us is that that we consider that to have a good collaboration, you need to share as much information as possible. So we don't want that people tweak too much permissions that will result in some people seeing nothing except vendors. We did an exception for vendors because they are not inside the studio. It's a little bit different. But for the other, we really want to make sure that that everyone has always the big picture. If that's not the case, this is where the collaborations fail because people doesn't really understand what they do, what is happening, and in the end, your project will slow down and you will struggle to ship it. So that's why we prefer to have very clear permissions with a broad access to other in terms of read only. We want to make it easy to read everything for anyone in the productions. We just of course we limit it to a given productions because if someone is working on a project, it doesn't mean that he should be able to access to another project. It has it doesn't make any sense from a collaboration point of view, and it makes a lot of sense in terms of confidentiality. So of course we put boundaries between productions, but inside the production we consider that anyone should be able to see anything, to have a proper to be able to be autonomous and to work better with others. It's more an horizontal point of view. Of course, if you are if you see your productions like something very vertical, like a pyramid, it doesn't work. But if you see something a little bit more horizontal, so of course we have the departments, but with a flattened pyramid, it's obvious that anyone should be able to see anything. So that's why we are a little bit. We prefer to constrain things on permissions, and in the end, it works because from what we see from our users is that they ship earlier than deadlines. So because everyone is aware of what is happening, they can work more efficiently, and in the end, everything is smoother. There is a better. It's like a virtuous circle. So everything, the data are good. The tools have the right information, the people have the right information, and in the end, this fluidity, this smoothness of information sharing make a better project. So that's it for these questions. Do you have any other question? I lost my Discord. Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that in the next release you're going to implement this risk management feature for Kitsu, where you can check if artist is occupied or doing too much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the question is, have you considered any implementation regarding planning of the project inside Kitsu?
Yeah.
Because it's related somehow with this risk management.
About the planning, it will come after. Here we have some indicators that we will do, and at the end of the year we will do a full planning revamp. We are already discussing with studios to get their feedback. We already get a lot, but it's something we want to tackle because we are aware that the planning into Kitsu is you can do stuff with it because you can put the date, you can see if something is late or not, but it's complicated to modify things. It's not available in every place you want. For example, in the entity page, you cannot modify it. There is these things that you don't know. You can't know if someone is assigned to something else at a given time. And there is many little things that should be added to the current planning. So we are well aware of that, and we are still collecting feedback. We had a lot of them. There is problems too about the global planning. So we will do a full revamp of the planning at the end of the year. But currently, we will just provide indicators like with out of quota, with late, and I don't have everything in mind. There is Gwen worked on that. She provided us with some mock-ups, but I don't. I looked at them a few months ago, but I forgot most of them. So I should have prepared that a little bit more. But yes, that's it about people occupation for people. About planning.
Thanks.
Is there any other question you want to? Will you be all at ANSI festival?
Well, I'm not.
You won't be. You won't be there.
I asked another question. Last one.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
While having experience with Kitsu for like about a year, I think I noticed that it became really huge on the file size because the storage getting bigger and bigger when people makes new attachments or upload the video player. And now I'm looking at one of my instances that runs Kitsu, and I'm looking at like a huge number because the folder is really big one, and I'm starting to think if there are any thoughts about how to garbage collect all that stuff that already is not necessary, because your file system is like it's like using your proprietary way of making binary files when putting it inside the storage. So I cannot verify what file belongs to what task. The question is there any thoughts about how to maintain this volume?
We didn't. There is nothing plain. There is nothing plain about that, but I think it's not. There is already everything to do the cleaning. What I mean by that is that we have the link to every files, and we have the date, and the versions of every files. So there is everything to build a script or a feature in the API to do that. But it's something. I think it's more something that you should open a ticket in Kani and try to bring people on this ticket. I know we have already a lot of tickets on Kani, but at least it's written somewhere, and we can write it back when we are ready to develop this. And the other thing, because there are several strategies for that. Maybe there is the strategy to remove every file related to an old project. There is a strategy to keep only the last versions of every previews. So it's a little bit different. But that's why I think it would be great to have a Kani ticket on it. Just the first thing would be to discuss how it would look to remove, to clean the files. And from there, it will be the opportunity to bring people to vote on it and to slowly make it go higher in the list. And at some point, we would be able to make something for that. And of course, if anyone wants to contribute, either by modifying the code or by giving a script that lists all the files and ask for deletions for all the unnecessary files, that would be great too. Maybe something that we can add to facilitate that is to add a feature that remove the files attached to a preview, but that doesn't remove the preview file entry, so to not break the logic of the data. And I think the first is, so to sum up, I think the first thing is to create a Kali ticket, discuss the details on it, and then bring people to it to make us feel like it's now it's getting important to fix to allow to clean the Kitsu files. Okay. And is there any questions from? It sounds like it's already 1 hour we talk. Okay, so it seems that there is no other questions. It's a little bit sad. Maybe I should think about another way to motivate more, to have more discussions like we just have with Inoki and T. Because really the goal of this is more to talk with you than to just it's great that we are able to give you an update, but I think what is better is that really we can talk about your concerns. So I will try to think about how we can bring more conversations to this session. Nevertheless, it's still good that we are able to do this update. You have the video which is online. It's great. It's great that we are able to record the video, but it's better if you come and to discuss with us than to wait later to see to watch this event. Maybe we can next time invite a Kitsu user to talk about his experience. Maybe it will bring more conversations. So yeah, we definitely have to improve this kind of format. Thank you, Inoki and T, for asking questions and really and animating this Ask Me Anything session. So I think we are at the end of the session. Is there any last thing people want to ask? No, so it's okay. So thank you a lot to all for being there. See you soon. Feel free to ask questions later on the chat. If you have any idea about this event, how we could make it different, feel free to share it. And thank you all for supporting us. We will see. For those who will come, we will see each other in Nancy, and for those who can't come, we will keep on discussing on Discord. So thank you a lot for your support, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you, Frank. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.